What's going on, everybody? It's Falchion with you once again. And once again, we're here for another Borderless Gaming GSA podcast episode, talking, whatever you want to call it. And special guest with us tonight. And hopefully, we can talk them into coming back and back and back. Evil Scotsman, say what's up to the people, Evil.
What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's well, and I hope you've had a good week of gaming, etc. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely hope everyone is well. A lot of crazy things going on in the world. Um, Speaking of which, I need to apologize to everyone for last week. I allowed my personal issues to spill over into the show, and that was unprofessional. I do apologize for that. Uh, from now on, I'll definitely work harder at keeping my head together. Um, so before we get into everything, let's talk. Let's check out today in gaming history. Because it's kind of a cool one that I never really thought about personally. But today, 26 years ago, Pokemon Green and Red launched. So
That was on the
these
Game Boy.
these are still going strong even today, right? Like they're still pumping out Pokemon in a certain color or like Diamond and Pearl or what have you, right? So for um 26 for to be doing that for 26 years. Now, this isn't a I don't know personally. I don't play the game. But this isn't a yearly release, is it? Like a new Pokemon like this?
No, I think they were quite regular back in the day, like the Game Boy. Um, I know one just released at the end of last year, so there's a
Right.
brand new one just out. They're getting quite regular. Um, but yeah, obviously, still going strong to this day. There's still a huge community behind Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh, we've got the whole Scottish family is in the house today. The other two Scottish brothers, Angry, welcome to the stream. Wicked Scotsman, welcome to the stream as well. Glad you guys could make it. Uh, Hello, the
Welcome,
Mitchell
guys.
clan. Glad you can make it as well. Um, yeah. So Pokemon Red and Green or Green and Red. I think they launched as Red and Green back then.
Yeah.
26 years. That's pretty cool. And so going from there, I guess that's a good segue into the Call of Duty news, right?
Yeah.
So Call of Duty releases every year for since it came out, right? And no Call
Apart
of
from
Duty.
one, apart from once, the last time they never released a game was 2004, and that was the initial break between Call of Duty and the second game, and it's the only time they missed a year ever.
Okay, but no mainline Call of Duty this year in 2023. And I think on this you can say that, and tell me if you agree that the gamers voices have been heard on this. Gamers have been saying for a while that Call of Duty doesn't need to release every single year, right?
Yep.
So, and that's same with like Madden and FIFA. These games release every year with barely any change. Angry's gonna bug you. Angry's gonna
Oh,
asking about. But see, look, in your defense, at least you're on here doing it, right? Angry every time we do something, he hides. So he can't really say
yeah. I'm not going to comment on that because it's a PG show.
much. We'll have to get him on someday though, for sure. But I mean, what do you think about no Call of Duty? Because you get Call of Duty every time, right? Every year.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for it. I don't know why, because I'm not going to sit here and say I'm good at the game. I'd say I'm maybe medium. if that. It'll be different, but I think what they've got going just now between Warzone and Vanguard, I think they'll get away with missing a year to hopefully make a better game.
Right.
I mean, Warzone is still so popular, and that was that 2 years ago that came out.
Yeah.
Um,
It's going really
and
strong.
yeah, that's still going strong. And Vanguard, you know, they had a bit of issues at launch. They have fixed them. They've moved on. They've just went into season 2, and it's looking to be good. And yeah, I think they could hold those two games if they keep putting content in.
Right. Hey, Tweety Pie, welcome to the stream, and we all hope that you are doing well as well. I'm glad you could make it today. Um, and feel free to walk across and wave to everyone. um, but yeah, so I guess that is the thing. Like we know that Warzone is going strong, and all I, all I think, and I'm no expert by any means, is for Warzone, you just keep adding content, right? And that can be a Destiny type 10-year plan, right? As long as you can keep it fresh, right? Um, every few months, adding new content that just makes people want to continue on.
Yeah, I mean, right now what they've got is you get the battle pass.
Hmm.
So, like back in the day, Call of Duty, you would buy the main game, and then you would be locked into this like 40, $50 season pass to get all the maps that they released. Whereas now, the way they've changed it is there's a battle pass like every 3 months roughly,
Hmm.
and that will come with operators. It comes with weapons. The weapons are free to everybody. You don't need to buy the battle pass for it, so it's not pay to play. The maps are put in free for everybody. Um, and that battle pass works across all their games. It works right now. It works between Call of Duty Vanguard, Warzone, and Black Ops Cold War. So one
Okay.
battle pass does all three games. You only buy this once, and you use it on three games and unlock stuff in all three games when you're playing even on just one.
Wow, that's actually surprisingly good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you're not doing too bad there, Sweetie Pie. Um, so you said that Vanguard started off kind of in a bad state. I guess unfortunately and not looking well upon ourselves, we're all getting kind of used to that where a game releases in a poor state and we wait for it to get better. Um, is it to a point where you're enjoying it? Um,
I'd have to admit I've not really had it on since the start of season two, but for what I'm hearing from other people that are playing it, that I normally play with, it is to the point where it is playable now. Um, the beginning at the launch, there was a huge problem with shotguns, like the akimbo shotguns, one in each hand. These things
okay.
could nail you across the goddamn map,
Really?
and it was not enjoyable. You had the other shotgun that was doing the same thing, but it was a faster firing shotgun, so somebody could just run through the map firing like hell and just take everybody with them.
Okay. Hey,
So
Madman Racing, glad you could make it. Glad to
yeah,
have you
that
here. Hope you enjoy.
seems to have been fixed with what I've been told now, and a lot of the other bugs were fixed as well. So
Okay.
I do have to go back on and give it a try for myself. So we'll see.
So it sounds like Call of Duty is stepping up. I is that the yeah, I think stepping up is the way to put it. As far as before, they the game and I know we all know like EA or whatever but or not EA, why did I say Activision, sorry. And but the game itself is seeming like is becoming more consumer friendly, and like I said, it seems like they're listening to the players now, because we've been saying for years that they don't need to come out with a new one every year. You know, to skip a year, to put more time into the games, to add more innovation to the games, would be great. Oh, look at this dude. Hold on a second. Wow, you look familiar, but I'm not sure. What's your name again?
Good
What's up,
evening,
Geek?
people. It's Geek Master.
You sure it's not like 883 or something? Anyway, um, how's it going, Geek?
Well, I'm in the middle of the physical move, and as always, everything that can go wrong does. So the move is taking longer than expected.
I can understand that, and believe me, it really is good to take your time because, man, if you don't, it can really come back and to bite you. Um, but I'm
And
glad you
that's
could
what
make
we
it
are.
tonight. Yeah, glad you could make it tonight, though. And so, with you jumping in, and let's jump to the GPUs. GPU prices are falling, so we are being told, but now is really not the time to jump on a new one because they're saying that they're going to drop further, even though the drop right now doesn't seem like much. Um, I know I just got a new a new pre-built computer because it's cheaper to get a complete pre-built computer than it is to get just the graphics card. And I know, Evil, you were saying that you're looking along the same lines.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the price of the GPU standalone, and do you know, it just makes more sense to get a pre-built computer because you're getting more bang for your buck.
And Geek, you tend to be a little more patient with your buys. Where are you on it? What are you thinking?
Okay, so you know that in October or November, I bought a pre-built. I have intention on buying another one, but now I'm thinking I'm going to wait because the 40 series is supposed to drop in July.
Okay,
So that's allegedly they're going to release them July of this year. And it looks like it may actually happen. They're going to be mildly limited, but let's see if it actually comes to fruition.
define mildly limited for me, because
Well,
how does that
in
compare to how they're limited now?
okay. So right now you can find 30 60s and every now and again a 3070 will actually hit a physical store shelf.
Okay,
So that's mildly limited. That's right now, right? Now, last week, you couldn't get your hand, not literally, but very recently, up until recently, you couldn't get your hands on a card at all in a store, in a
mhm,
retail outlet, because they still have the Newegg lottery system.
okay. That's the same thing that like PlayStation was doing. I don't think they're doing it anymore. to where you throw your name in a hat and you get lucky, and they'll call you up or email you or what have you, and say that you have this amount of time to be able to purchase it. Right?
Right. Right.
Okay. Madman Gaming or Madman Racing says that he just bought an RTX 3070 for £1,000. Now, wow, that's a really good price. A year ago, I mean, a month ago, so £1,000 is just as a comparison, and I don't have the exact numbers, of course, but it's less than $1,000 US. So wow, that's I'm living in the wrong country apparently. But so these this limited release or what have you of the 30 or the 40 series cards.
Limited availability.
Okay.
Right.
What have they announced prices?
Yes, but I don't have that. I'm in the car, so I don't have that that article pulled up.
Do you have a ballpark? Do you remember a ballpark?
It's pretty much almost dollar for dollar the 30 series.
The 30 series, which was supposed to be MSRP, or the 30 series that they are right now?
MSRP.
Wow. Okay. So
I think it was like maybe a $50 premium.
okay. So between what 400 on the low end to what 1,600 on the high end. That's US dollars. Something around there.
1,700, and the low end was like 5 something.
Okay.
The 4060, I believe, was like 506.
Okay. Wow.
But those were projected pricing, not official,
Hmm.
because it can change as we get closer. And depending on the shortage, and now it's not just did they produce the card, is are we going to actually get it through the shipping lanes?
Right.
Because now shipping has gone up.
And you also have to think about what's going on in the world right now, and everything could be really close to hitting the fan. So I wonder how that's going to affect things as well.
Right. As Putin waved the nuclear sword today.
Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy. What's going on, J-Law? Glad you could make it to the stream. Yeah, Geek is here. Geek is, as you say, out of hiding.
Yes, I'm out of hiding.
But yeah, so there you go. And I guess maybe that's why you want to wait, right? And if they're about to release the 40 series cards, then it is probably best to just wait for those. And
Don't do that.
what?
Because if you really want to get a card right now, I would say if you have the money and you see it for MSRP, grab it.
And you're
Because
not.
they're gonna,
Well, I
I
guess
think they're gonna do the
Madman
same
did.
thing with the 30 series that they did with the 20 series when the 30 series came out. They stopped production because they didn't want to be stuck with those 20 series cards. So now, if they know that they're actually going to release the 40 series cards, I believe they're going to stop the 30 series. Why would you buy a 30 series if you can put your hands on a 40 series?
Yeah. I mean, see, it's all discombobulated, and as we come out of one crisis, we're entering another crisis, and it's unfortunately going hand in hand with as we come out of the 30 series, we're going into the 40 series, we're going to be looking at issues of shipping. Like, what's going on, Plank? Glad you can make it too, bro. But like Plank just said, like there are sanctions, but there are gonna be more sanctions, and so what happens to those cards that were meant to go to Russia if nobody's um, really dealing with Russia anymore? Could that be? And I don't want to say it like this, but I can't think of a better another term. Um, could that be kind of good for everybody wanting them? As that market, that the Russian market is effectively seeming like it's going to be shut down, assuming that the whole world isn't shut down.
Right.
um, but I guess time will tell. Um, I did have one other news thing that I wanted to talk about before we get into the real story, but I just remembered it right now, and that is we got more information on PlayStation Spartacus. You guys hear about this?
I've been in the move, so no.
No, I never caught this.
So Spartacus pricing has been released or leaked. Not sure the best way to say that, and it goes something to this effect. J Law, I'm interested to hear what you think about this. So the lowest tier is going to be uh $5, right? I believe it was. I need to look that up. But and it's just PlayStation Plus, the way PlayStation Plus is right now, right? So no change as far as that's going to be the tier for PlayStation Plus. The second tier will be $10, and that tier is going to involve uh, being able to play some older titles. Now we're not clear on what's meant by older titles, because older titles could just mean um, PlayStation 4 games, because they have stated in the past that they can't go backwards compatible to PS1, 2, and 3. Or maybe they figured that out and it does go back that far, which would be cool. But it's still really nah. You know what? I can't even say that. It would be cool. It would be cool to be able to revisit some of those old titles. And then the uppermost tier is going to be $16, I believe it was. And I'll have this all for you guys next week. I totally blanked on it, and that one's going to include everything that was just mentioned, but also it adds demos, access to demos. So there's not going to be any like day and date like Game Pass games, but they will have demos for you to play their new games as it's being said right now. Again, Sony hasn't really, or as far as I've seen so far, this is all kind of new. Sony hasn't really said what they're gonna do or what games this is gonna be. But not thinking about Game Pass, right? Not comparing it to Game Pass right now. What do you guys think about that? Like, so $16 a month, and you get uh, everything in PS Plus plus older games or backwards compatible games back to at least the PS4, but possibly further. And then let's say it goes all the way back to the PS1. Let's just, for argument's sake, and also um, demos of games. So like you would be able to play um, what just came out. Forbidden West for a certain amount of time to see if you like it. Is that enough for your $16 a month? J Law says hard pass, and I'm kind of surprised that he says that. I thought he would like that kind of a deal.
Okay, so what was talked about before this latest, before the pricing information came out, was that the demos was only going to be 5 hours of gameplay.
Right.
I don't know that I want 5 hours. Because what does that equate to? Is that 2 days, or do I have to play those 5 hours contiguous? I need to know that before I can tell you if that's a good deal or not.
That's a good point. Because you're not necessarily going to want to sit down for 5 hours. But Sony's not necessarily going to want you to stretch that.
I don't see why not. Because if I play 1 hour today and then I gotta, handle some business, and then I come back for 2 hours tomorrow and I get another 2 hours on Wednesday, that's still 5 hours.
Yeah, but
and now the longer you get me to play, the more invested into that story I would be.
Right. But you have to, or I'm going on Sony's past records for things like this, right? So I remember, Sony would be like, okay, we're going to let you have this for a couple of hours or what have you to play for free. And then afterwards you either lose it or you have to buy it. And like that time, so let's stick with 5 hours. That 5 hours started with the moment you started downloading the game, right? And
Right.
look, the smile on your face lets me know you remember exactly what I'm talking about. So the moment you started downloading a game, mind you, this was on the PS4, right? The moment you started downloading a game, your 5 hours started, right? Okay, so while PS5 downloads are really fast, PS4 downloads were like super slow. So probably 2 hours of your playtime was spent downloading the game. What do you think, Evil?
If it worked as such like the EA pass, where like they give you 10 hours and it's only active for the moment, you've got the game on and you can come and go as you please for those hours. It's a good thing, but then, I mean, the price point's pretty high for what they're giving out, to be fair.
And then so let me read. J-Law says, let's be real, playing old generation games is fun only for a moment. I don't want to play Resident Evil 1 again unless it's remade for the 5. I don't want to. I don't want a siphon filter. What? You don't want siphon filter? What? What? Everybody wants siphon filter. You're
Absolutely.
true. But I mean, I agree with them. Like as far as playing old games is fun. That nostalgia only lasts for a little bit, and then it hits you. Like, okay, so I can arguably say that Minecraft is one of the greatest games out right now, right? It has the numbers that prove it, right? But
Yeah.
I can't play it because I remember when I was young and graphics looked like that, we were trying to get to where graphics look today. So when I see Minecraft now, I'm like, that's a huge step back. Like, I guess for younger generations now, it's cool and or what have you, but for me, it's just like, no, this is blocks put together to kind of resemble, and I don't want that. So,
Yeah, I hear you on that one. I've got the same opinion with Minecraft. I have played it, and I have to somewhat degree enjoyed it, but yeah, it's like jumping back into the past when you look at the graphics.
right.
And then I had to have a laugh. Was it a couple of years ago when they announced ray tracing for Minecraft? Like, honestly.
And to be honest with you, if we weren't where we are now as far as graphics goes, that ray tracing would look amazing. And I'm sure a lot of people are like ray tracing on that game is amazing, looks great. But it's still it's putting lipstick on a pig for me, you know what I mean? Like it's and I'm not trying to downplay anybody's love of the game. Um I'm sure it's an absolutely fun game, and all I am doing is speaking from a point of when I started gaming. That's where graphics were. We went, we leaped way far ahead, and then for some reason, somebody decided to go all the way back to the beginning. And I mean, yeah, I'm over exaggerating because like for us, it was everything was a color, right? So if your character had red pants, right? The whole character was red from head to toe. So, I get where it's better than it was then, but still when I look at it, that's what I see, and I don't want to see that. Wicked. The
Yeah.
reason the Minecraft is so popular is because the mods you can get for it. Okay, I'll have to take your word for it because I have no idea of about anything about Minecraft, to be honest with you. I've never played it at all. And that sounds messed up to say, like I never even gave it a chance, but it's you look at something and it doesn't appeal to you, you're likely not going to try it. If you look at it and it just simply does not appeal to you whatsoever. But
Yeah, and I would have to agree with Wicked. If you put vanilla Minecraft alongside modded, it's two different games.
really,
Like the modded community has built like hundreds, probably thousands of mod packs that do add more to the game, but it's still the graphics that does it for me. Like I have enjoyed it, I'll admit that. I did go through a spell where I enjoyed it, but still the graphics just really they get to me. When you look at what we're looking at right now and you look back at that and you just think, really?
I mean, like I'm old, right? And so when I was a really young child, there was no such thing as video games, right? And so as the years have rolled on, I've seen them advance, and I remember when 8-bit went to 16-bit, and we were like, "Man, it looks so realistic now," and then so on and so forth. And now I look back over what I thought looked realistic when it first came out, and I'm like, "Man, I'm an idiot." Like I had no idea, but um,
Yeah, I mean, I go
yeah,
back to some old games sometimes. Like, I think the biggest one that I looked at recently was I went back and played F1 2010.
uh-huh,
I mean, you go back to that, you really appreciate the step forward that we've came
right,
just in that like 12-year gap. And then you look even further back to that, we've come such a long way, and now we're sitting in a position where we sit here and think, how can this be better? Like, what can actually make this better now? Because everything is so realistic.
yeah.
Like, how can we advance this with where we're sitting? But something will come along that will blow our mind.
Yeah,
It always
that's
does.
true. But yeah, so Spartacus is looking like it's being fleshed out. I don't know that it's enough to, as they say, compete with Game Pass. Game Pass makes my life easier, right? Um, I
And
I
there
play
was
games that I wouldn't normally try. Like, what was that?
there was something put out there this week from, I'm not sure if you've seen it. It was put out there from Valve. Steam is ready to talk to Microsoft about bringing the whole Xbox Game Pass to Steam as a whole.
Now that makes a lot of sense, because they are releasing, or they have started releasing, right? I think they've begun the release of their Steam decks, right? Even if they haven't, it's like next week or something. It's really close.
I think it was started a few days ago. I think it's
So
limited, but they have started shipping.
so if they can get Xbox or Game Pass or what have you on Steam, that makes that already huge. Because let's admit, man, there's no library like the Steam library. Steam's library is like the Library of Congress, right? It's huge, right? Like anything you ever want or need is is on Steam just about. And but
Yeah,
with
and
the
they
exceptions.
recently adopted the EA Pass onto Steam as well.
Did they? See,
Yeah, so
so that even
um,
kind of makes it look like it's because EA Pass is most popular, I would say, on um, a Game Pass. I blinked for a moment. I'm having to lean in because I am blind, guys. I'm serious. Wicked says Game Pass is amazing. I have to agree. And I would love to see PlayStation do that. I mean, I would love to see them just directly copy um, Game Pass for the PlayStation. And people can't say they would never do that because they've always done that. Because if you think about it, uh, Microsoft started charging us to play online and everything, and then Sony did it exactly the same way. Microsoft brought out achievements, and then Sony brought out achievements, but called them trophies. So if they've always been willing to do it before, this is something where, you know, I don't know how many times we've said it. If you look at Game Pass and the cheapest that it can be, which is $1 to start with, they're making millions of dollars a month, right? Um,
yeah.
what was it? The last we saw was getting up to there to around 30 million subscribers. So if everybody was just paying $1 a month, that's $30 million a month. Um, but yeah. So I'm waiting to see more developments, and hopefully they do at least a little bit better. Old games isn't really gonna cut it as far as that being the like the bread and butter of the service. You got to have those new games, and it's gotta they've got to just be playable. Game Pass has already proven that just because a game is on Game Pass, people still buy it, right? If I enjoy a game that's on Game Pass, then I'm gonna buy. And I'll give you a great example is Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's on Game Pass, and you start playing it on Game Pass, and it's the lowest tier of the game, and then you start buying more content for it, and by the end, I've got the deluxe package of the game and all this extra DLC that I paid for that outside of Game Pass. So it works. It really does work. But let's be honest, most of you guys are here for one thing and one thing only. The Queen has arrived. So tell me what you guys think. I'm kind of surprised. I haven't heard much, and I actually had to ask Evil if the game came out because I guess Elden Ring is the popular game right now. But
Yeah.
are you guys playing it? Are you guys enjoying it? Was it worth it, or is it
Yeah.
worth it?
I've not played much of it yet. I'm very early on. I've a lot of IRL stuff to do this week, so I have turned it on and I've done a few bits and bobs, and I am really enjoying that DLC so far. It feels right. It feels like the time and the effort has been put in.
Geek?
Okay, so I have played it, or started it. I have to say I do like it. But there's so much more that I haven't gotten to yet. There are certain power levels that you need to get to in order to do certain events. And that's what's going on right now. You know, all the tryhards are sweating the power level updates and getting themselves to be able to get to some of those in-game events. And as I looked at the numbers on Twitch of the number of viewers to the Destiny sphere, it was massive. So yeah, it seems to be worth it yet. There are some little gripes that I heard about a couple of things that were a little glitchy. There are a number of glitches where people are taking advantage of it to power level.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's see what they fixed. There was something, I forget, it was a garden of something, that there was a loot glitch. They fixed that in like 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then there were other glitches where people were leveling, and one of them, last I looked, went on for 2 days. And that's really the last time I got to pay close attention to what was going on. So it's worth it. There are things out there going on, but they seem to be rapidly repairing it. So let's see where that goes. Because a particular Twitch streamer, Fem Steph, I just watched her run this level over and over and over again. And that's kind of unfortunate because I was at work, so I couldn't take advantage of it. So now those people are going to out-level me, and then by the time I get a chance after this move to really get on it, if it's fixed, I'm going to be unfortunately disappointed. Because why did they get there, and now I've got to grind it out for days, if not weeks, because I didn't take advantage of a glitch. So I'm feeling like in this instant, crime did pay for them, but not for me.
Yeah,
So
Bungie's normally very quick when you get the loot glitches. They try and be quick. I don't know if did you ever play Destiny 1 Geek?
oh, absolutely.
You remember the good old loot cave that actually turned into a joke eventually,
Yes,
and
yes, I did.
that's what they try and avoid. It's yeah, I feel what you're saying. It's unfortunate that there's people out there that take advantage of these exploits,
There are
and yeah,
people who have already hit the soft cap.
yeah. To me, those people should adhere some kind of power cut punishment. There's got to be a way to prove that they've done it over and over again and take power away from them.
I mean, the people that I was watching were doing it on camera, so there is proof that they did
Yeah.
it. So I
And
believe there should be some form of punishment, or they should be penalized in some way.
And what it comes down to is everybody trying to get ready for the raid release, and I think it's end of next week.
Okay.
So people are just trying to find loopholes left, right, and centre to get this power cap up to where it needs to be to go for the world's first.
Right.
Wow. I mean, so I haven't. So, like I said, I had to ask Evil if the game released, because I looking for the topic for the show, and so if it's to the point, right, where I have to ask the question, and it seems bad, right, but you have to think about it. These days, we focus as a community, the gamer community, we focus so hard on anything that's bad with a game that
Yeah.
tends to outshine anything that's good. And there's been no focus like that on Destiny, so it must be pretty good for that to be the case. And this to me was the DLC that was going to define, or that was going to let me know if a game that's slated to last for 10 years could work. And because how long are we into Destiny 2 now? 3 or 4, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when it
3
was.
or 4 what?
Years?
7.
7 years into Destiny 2?
Oh no, not Destiny 2.
2017 it released, September 2017. So 5. Was it 5
5
years?
years.
So okay, so we're halfway through his life. That makes it even better. And this they dropped this, and it's good enough that people aren't like people aren't complaining to the point where it's not overrunning Twitter and Twitch and YouTube or what have you, and that's good, and that makes it seem to me like this has got the legs to do what they wanted to do. And I have to admit, right? So looking at your background, Evil, and seeing like commercials for it, it makes me want to play it, right? So like a commercial
Yeah.
will run and all this stuff is going on and I don't know what the game is yet, and I'm like, man, that looks fun. What game is that? And then they're like Destiny, and I'm like, really? That's Destiny? Man. So they they are making somebody that doesn't play the game, right, want to play the game. Just through those visual effects that I've seen, and like I said, your back. I mean, I'm imagining that must be the Witch Queen behind you,
Yeah.
and I mean that just looks cool, and maybe things are changing for me too because like I'm playing Elden Ring, and that's not my kind of game. But I am actually enjoying it once I figured out the or now that I'm beginning, I should say, to figure out some of the formula for it because man, that game is flipping hard.
Mhm.
Jeez. I Geek says I make games hard for the sake of being hard, and I don't, because this game is flipping hard. Like I need an easy mode for it, and there's just none to be had. But it there's a feeling of reward once you are able to complete something in that game, and so I'm interested in seeing, and hopefully you guys will be doing this, some streams of the storyline of the Witch Queen, because like
Yeah.
I said, what I've seen in advertisements and everything, it looks very interesting. I know it's Destiny, and I know that gameplay and everything is probably pretty much the same. I mean, why would they change a formula that's working? But man, I'm feeling like almost a little hooked on it right now.
I mean, yeah, they don't tend to change the formula, but there is, like, they always drop something new into Destiny that kind of makes you step back and think, whoa, like, really? Like, not going to have any story spoilers or anything, but, you know, there's new components in the Witch Queen storyline that makes you step back as a Guardian and think, wow, hang on a second. It's still, to this day, when new storylines makes you step back and think, all right, okay, I'd have to say the storyline in the Witch Queen, it does go a lot further back. Like the story they're running is damn good, and it's took them a long time to actually get this story to where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And they've added so much. Now it's become more complex because now you can craft your weapons. They added a new subclass.
Yes.
Not new, but they've re-engineered the Void subclass.
Yeah.
So you know that because now there's going to be the Solar subclass and the Arc subclass and the Stasis subclass. So there's so much work that they can do. So you see, to your point, Faustin, you were saying, can it live that 10-year lifespan? You can see where they can stretch this growth process and the changes long enough to keep gameplay fresh for a good amount of time. And there's so many returning players to the Destiny sphere because of the Witch Queen. And now we haven't even seen the in-game events yet. And nobody's crafted that weapon to its pinnacle position yet. And there's so much to explore there, because some are squares and some are circles, and so it's going to be a thing. And this is part of that growth potential or that lifespan. So there's a lot to look for, and I can't give a full evaluation because nobody has got there yet.
Right.
Yeah.
J-Law says he's not a fan of Destiny, but he has watched gameplay of Elden Ring. It looks really good. It's really good, and I know you liked what was it, Sekiro, I think it was. And if you enjoyed that, you'd probably enjoy this, except the fact that it's like 100 times more difficult and makes no like it's confusing in a fun way though. But Destiny is like I guess it's like I said, if they're not right now, if you're in the news,
Sorry to
either
cut you off, Faustin. Can we get that Geek Master music?
Oh my goodness, really? I think I might have something new for you. You're gonna have to tell me what you think. So it might be. How about that?
let's say
That
it's
better
that.
noise. All right. So yeah, okay, but so if Destiny is not blowing up the airwaves over being bad, then that
No news
almost
is good news.
yeah, that almost by default means it's good, and that's crazy to say because when you think about games, you think, okay, we hear most about games that are good, but that's not even true. We hear most about games that we hope are going to be good, and then we roll the dice on that. But if Destiny,
Look at Horizon
right?
Forbidden West. All I hear is negative things about glitches, and I haven't played that yet. So
Mhm.
all I got to go on is
Right.
the news that I'm seeing.
So in in that vein, congratulations to the developers for Destiny, Bungie, and congratulations to the players because seems you guys are enjoying it so much that it you're not talking about it, you're playing it, right? And that's the big thing, right? It's if you're looking at these console wars, you know, it's between people who are doing more talking about games and systems than actually playing them. Well, nobody's really talking about Destiny, but it's got a bunch of people. It's you see the data on a bunch of people playing it, so it's got to be really up way up there, and that's really awesome. I'm impressed and kind of curious to see if it could hold my attention. You know, that's
I
been a
think we'll
problem with it in the
see.
past.
We'll see probably a lot more drip out next week when the raid comes into effect. I think right now, one of the main reasons everything is so quiet from the Destiny community is everybody is grinding. They need to be up at this certain level. They want to have the best weapons they can possibly have to do the end game raid. And the raid in Destiny is such a big event that you effectively get like a wrestling belt for the world's first. If you manage to be the first team to beat the raid,
Hmm.
it is a race.
You said
Um, Bungie even sits in their offices with lots of streams in front of them watching everything. It's such a big community event to see who walks away with that world's first achievement.
Wow, yeah, and I remember well, the division doing that, right? The first team
Yeah.
to complete that first raid or whatever got a plaque inside the game, right? So
yes.
that's actually pretty cool. And
Yeah.
the whole thing is that this makes Destiny a very cool game as an outsider looking in. Like this is what I'm waiting for. I've been waiting for games to stand on uh the player bases just playing them and not trying to talk smack about how bad something else is, trying to hype their thing up. And it's cool that, you know, the the Destiny community is right now head down grinding. Yeah, I'm impressed, and I mean, I don't really know what more to say about it. I am impressed. So
The Destiny
yeah,
community is a great place. I mean, the 30th anniversary stuff that came out, I think it was in November. There was an unfortunate situation where new players would get brought into the brand new activity, but their light level was so low, it was damn near impossible for them to get through this event. So the Destiny community went to their vault and went and got the oldest gear they had that dropped them to the lowest light level, and they jumped into that activity to help these new players that were struggling. There was a huge thing about that, and the people that did jump in and help with that were given an emblem that is unique that you helped these new players. Like, there's not many communities out there that would do that.
Yeah, and Geek and his community of Destiny players do that. I know. They bring people from their streams who are saying, "Hey, we need help with this, that, or the third," and they'll say, "Hey, come on and jump in, and we'll take you through it." So I didn't realize that stretched over. I thought that was a unique thing to them, I guess. Um, me not
It's
really
not
watching.
unique. It's not unique to our community. Uh, Phenomenal J. Phenomenal J is doing beginning Witch Queen runs. So anybody who gets in a Witch Queen right now, a returning player, a new player, whatever, he's taking them through. Fem Steph, she's another Twitch streamer that she takes people through particular events. So that's a big thing in Destiny. Is if you're a lone player and you need to do those team events, you can find multiple communities, and some are very specific to certain activities, and some will do whatever you need. So it exists.
Yeah, I'm in one myself. I'm in one of the clans that they have people taking people through numerous activities that you can't do with one person. You need a team for. So they will sit down and they'll organise daily to pull these people and help them through it.
That's cool. I mean, wow.
LFG is rife with events and calls to action for specific activities. So yeah, that's a known thing within the Destiny community.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's definitely cool. I guess, like Geek pointed out, we're coming up on, or we're now
We're
bypassing
now
the
past,
hour.
right.
So I will concede and step off. Thank you guys for joining and watching. And Geek, where can the people find you?
Oh, you're gonna have to put it up. I'm remote.
I hope you don't even get that because Evil's not gonna get that. So I don't get it. You don't get it because Evil can't have it because I didn't set it up. So you want me to
Well,
go first?
yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right. So me, I'm Falchion GSA on the Xbox. That's Falchion Space GSA on the PlayStation, Steam, and someplace else. I can't even remember what's the other one. I'm Falchion757, and here on YouTube, it's just
You play?
oh yeah, you play. Thank you. And then see, I don't remember either. On here on YouTube, it's just Borderless Gaming GSA. So go for it, geek.
All right. So it's Geek Master without the vowels. So GKMSTR space NYC on the Xbox, and it's GKMSTR PlayStation, Steam, and it's Geekmaster NYC spelled out on Uplay. Soon we're going to be bringing back Wednesday Wise. And of course, here on YouTube at Borderless Gaming. Okay, I did pretty good off my head.
Evil, where can we find you, bro?
You can find me on Steam as Evil Scotsman. I think it's Evil Scotsman, all one word, swapping the O and the I for numbers, the 0 and the 1 in Scotsman. That is on Steam, Xbox, and I believe YouTube. Although I'm not very active, I think it's just Evil Space Scotsman. Put me on the spot with that one.
And we're on Twitch, sir? Evil?
Twitch is Evil Scotsman, all one word. Again, swapping the O and the I for a 0 and a 1.
Okay.
And Tweety Pie.
Oh, Tweety Pie is just on Twitch, Tweety Pie 94, and
There you go.
just started streaming this last week. So
Brand new
go
streamer.
and
Go
show,
check
go
her
and show
out,
some
guys.
love.
Yeah, for sure. Brand new streamer, like literally brand new this week. So that's awesome. Again, thank everybody for watching. See you, Jay. Be safe. Many blessings to you as well. And until next time, this has been Fauci. You know me. I'm Ghost. 2 fingers is peace. Later. Where is it, geek?
Excuse me?
Where's episode 44?
Episode 44 is in the can.
In the can. Later, guys.